Good evening, guys. Pastor Janet, I'm back again, feeling much better. Thanks for those that wish me well. I appreciate it very much. I wanted to come today and talk about using the pen name, the pros and cons. Okay, using the pen name, you see a lot of people find out that you didn't know wrote a certain book because they didn't use the original name. That's a pen name, and there's reasons why pros of using a pen name. If you're gonna talk about people that you know, and you don't want them to know that you're talking about them, that you're putting them in a book, use a pen name. And also, a pen name allows you to write in different genders. And they say maybe a lot of times you find a lot of men write romance novels, but you don't know because they use a pen name. You think it's a woman. They may use a certain name that sounds like it's a female. And then later on, you find out that it's a man. So pen names are good for writing across different genders. Let me get this hair out of my face because I was showing you guys the clothes, which you'll see in the next video. Anyway, okay, let me pull this back here. Now, okay, so you can write across different genders and you can keep yourself safe. Like a lot of investigative reporters might use a pen name, so you wouldn't know that they might use somebody's name that sounds similar to theirs, but it's not theirs, so that they stay safe and they can talk about and not let people really know that it's them that's speaking about certain areas that they are interested in. It could be politics or whatever. So they use a pen name to hide who they are, so they stay safe and they don't have people yelling at them and screaming at them. I didn't know you thought this. I didn't know you thought that. So pen names are for usually hiding your identity, or for writing across different genders, letting people see that that they like your writing in one area, so you try another area, but you don't want them to know that it's yours in case it flops. So you use a pen name. Those are the pros. But now the cons of using a pen name, when it comes to publishers, you have to use your contracts, money, copyright. They have to have your real name, because if you want that check, it's got to be coming to you. And so they want copyright. You got to have you have to use your real name too. So copyright, it makes it difficult. You got to use your own name. Publishers, signing contracts, you got to use your own name. Even if you're going to write in different gender, you have to have that fixed. So you got to have all that worked out so that you will receive what's coming to you and you won't get lost and feel that you're being cheated somewhere. Because pen names, like I said, there's a pros and cons. You have to make sure you have all that straightened out. It's almost like co-authoring. Like I did that video before about co-authoring. You have to know what you're talking about. Both have to be on the same page for everything. Book signings, royalties, everything. So it's the same with the pen name. You got to have that straight, even if it's just you. But you're using another name, which is also you, but under a different identity, to hide, maybe, like I said, that you don't want to be, hassled by people saying, "Oh, you're a man, you're writing a romance book." So you keep yourself safe by using a pen name. So pen names are mostly for safety, hiding your identity and stuff like that. Because you want to switch across maybe different genders, maybe you're a sci-fi writer, but you like romance, but you don't want to lose your sci-fi fans once they find out, oh, he's a romance writer, or she's a romance writer writing sci-fi. I didn't know that was her. That name didn't sound like her. So pen names keep you safe, but it also can cause problems. You have to know what you're doing. You have to discuss it with the publisher and the copyright. When you get to the business aspect, it gets more complicated, because you have to make sure that the money is coming to you, because you have to have your original name in the copyright and the original name on the book with the publishers. So pen names are nice, but I myself have never really thought of using one. My husband was trying to think of one for me to use today, and I can't remember what he said it was, but I thought to myself, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just J Love, Christian romance writer. That's me. J Love, Christian romance writer. I love to write romance. I love to write Christian romance. And even when I did my mystery novels on Kindle, for Kindle Vella, I use my real name. Sometimes I'll say Pastor Janet Fears, and other times I'll just drop the pastor off, because I have a lot of books before I became a pastor, under Janet Marie Fears. So, but I just basically now I'm Pastor Janet Marie Fears. But pen names, they're nice, and I've heard some that sound really, really neat. But as for me, I'm not interested in doing a pen name. I got enough with my own name. My husband's last name is Fears. That's the hardest name for people to get. I'll tell them my name, Janet Fears, and they'll say, "Oh, Mrs. Sears." I said, "I didn't say Sears. I said Fears." Or then they'll say, "Oh, Miss Lears." I said, "I didn't say Lears. I said Fears." So now I'm smart. when they say, what is your name? I said, Janet, Pastor Janet Marie Fears. And they say, Sears? I said, no, no, no. I had to stop and think. When you're afraid, what's the word that you use for afraid? Fear. I said, add an S at the end of that word. Fears. Janet Fears. When I first married him, I went someplace. I think I was in a doctor's office because I'm a diabetic, so I had to go to the doctor a lot. And they came out and they called my name, and I was still sitting there. And the lady said, "Is Mrs. Fears in here?" And she said it again 3 times, "Mrs. Fears." And I said, "Oh, that's me." I wasn't used to that name because my last name was Crosby, Crosby. And people used to joke with me about Bing Crosby and all that stuff. But my last name was, so I was used to hearing Janet Marie Crosby. I wasn't used to Fears. So I'm still getting used to Fears. After 23 years of marriage, that name is still a problem for a lot of people. I don't know why. They can't hear it right. They hear Janet Sears, Janet Lears, Janet Pierce, but they don't hear Janet Fears. But I am Janet, Pastor Janet Marie Fears, just like the word fear at S. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Glad to be back. Love you guys. Bye-bye now. Have a great evening. Merry Christmas.